Hi, so we are Titan Fusion PR, and this is our service learning project, and we work with Mariposa Counseling Center. So this is us, this is Titan Fusion PR. I'm Jonathan Passetti. I'm the president. I was in charge of direct contact with the client, Mariposa, also and getting donation organizations going like that, and also overseeing the event.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Garcia Martinez. I'm the vice president. I was majorly in charge of regulating team meetings, and I did a lot of the agendas. I was also the contact for Orange Coast Magazine. I was the intern, so I did a lot of your events too. Yeah.
I apologize for my voice, I'm kind of sick. Hi, my name is Latiana Wallace. I am the finance director, so I was in charge of like budgeting, anything related to money.
I'm Rebecca Waddell. I was a social media director. I was in charge of writing all of our social media posts. I took our photos at our event, and I also was the primary contact with our event and the team.
My name is Jeffrey Chen. I'm the communication director, and I was primarily involved with developing the press kit throughout the event and before as well.
So this is Titan Fusion PR's mission statement. We strive to foster relationships between the clients, media, and publics, and we really value creativity in reaching our clients' goals, devoting time and effort in all manners of business, and pursuing each project with integrity and high ethical standards. And then so a little background on Mariposa. Mariposa is a counseling center that was founded in 1977 by Fran McGowan. She had this vision to create a substance abuse program for women, because at the time there was only substance abuse program for men. Not a lot of people thought women were going through this problem, but actually there was actually a huge turnout of people who needed this in the community. And then today Mariposa has grown into a low cost mental health program for both men and women, and they do other things other than substance abuse now. Now they do individual counseling, group counseling. They also focus on couples and family therapy. And the counselors are trained in dealing with all types of situations, whether it be child abuse, domestic violence, and so they've really grown in what they do at Mariposa.
So for our team to get a little information about our nonprofit organization, we performed our SWOT analysis. So as you can see, Mariposa has a lot of strengths, primarily with their website. We were very impressed with the way it was laid out. I don't know if any of you are Kaiser Permanente benefiters, but their website's laid out very similarly. They have what is called an exit now button, which is very beneficial for people who are in like some sort of situation where if they're trying to seek help, they can go on this website, be it like if it's a domestic violence situation or if it's substance abuse, and if they needed to quit the website at any point, they could just hit the exit now button and it would take them to either some sort of pop-up or completely exit the web browser. Additionally, it is very affordable care. A lot of the clients that Mariposa services are low income, so they are able to provide high quality health care for a low income price, which is very great for a lot of people in Orange County. Additionally, a lot of people they're very aware of Mariposa in Orange County, and it has a very familial setting. A lot of people will tend to donate back to the organization after they have been through I don't want to say rehab, but basically they've been through the services that Mariposa provides, and they're very pleased with it, and they end up becoming friends, and everyone's just very, very close in the organization. Moving on to weaknesses, Mariposa does have some weaknesses, primarily with their lack of funds and their social media presence. Mariposa only had a Facebook page at the time when we found out, and they later had a Twitter as well, but we've primarily focused on their Facebook page. Additionally, their lack of funds, which included our budget, we had a very, very low budget. A lot of their income was because of donations from other people. Opportunities, Mariposa did have a lot of fundraising opportunities for this event, or for their organization, primarily with their gala that they host once a year. They have Anika's Closet, which is really, really cute. It's this 12-year-old girl who comes in, she makes her own fashion, and she actually sells it to clients who come in and out, and the donations go to Mariposa, which is super cute. She's 12, right? So they also host a comedy show once a year, so they have like a silent auction, and people have to get to pay, and they hire an entertainer for a couple hours. Also, the Casa Teresa is their sister company. Casa Teresa is a nonprofit organization that tends to help out women who are pregnant and they can't take care of the costs of making sure their pregnancy goes safe. So we think that's really cool that they both partner together, and they tend to host a lot of their events together to bring in more donations and stuff like that. Moving on to our threats. Mariposa is in a business complex that has a lot of other similar counseling services. It's also in a really weird location. Like if you go to it, not everyone knows exactly where it is unless you're familiar with the area. So just trying to find it in general is kind of hard for a lot of people. And they also rent out of the building. So they don't own their own property. So if they wanted to expand into the complex further, they would have to like move completely or try to convince the company next to them to purchase out their plot.
So along with our SWAT, we also made a PES. So for the political portion, one of the main things was that we couldn't use Mariposa's already donated items for our raffle due to, more or less just due to political reasons and law reasons. One reason why we put that on was because during our first meetings, they did want us to try and give away some of their donated items. However, after they had already said that, they discovered that it was technically, since they were donated before the event, they wouldn't be allowed to do it. For economical, like Becca just mentioned, we had a very low budget for our event. And along with that, like she also mentioned, many clients in Mariposa do tend to be lower income, so it is harder for them to come out and support events like ours that we'll be talking about in a bit. However, on the other end of that, for social-wise, there are a lot of clients, and Mariposa is really well known, especially in the OC area, so because of that, they were able to spread word of the event and also get a lot of word of mouth out. And then along with that, the recent, well, not recent anymore, but Las Vegas shootings also created a option for people to go to the counseling center. It's called Route 91. And so those participants were also people that we could target for this event. And then finally, technological. Like we said, Mariposa's website is very good, and it's very good to like spread events and ideas out for the people who follow it, along with their social media, such as Facebook. And then for during the event, using Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat of people going to the event and us as well to share the event.
Okay, so for our problem statement, we originally saw that they did take a lot of lower income clients, and therefore that resulted in a large amount of donated services and free workshops. So what Titan Fusion PO wanted to do was we wanted to increase their funds, and that was one of the problems that they told us that they really had to struggle with. Secondly, Mariposa needs an increase in their social media attention. So Titan Fusion PR decided that we would take it upon ourselves to just post a minimum of 10 per whatever it was, since they were very lacking on their social media postings.
And so for our target publics, we had two primaries. So our first was Mariposa clients. And so as some of my team members were saying earlier, when we had our first initial meeting with our client, Mariposa, we spoke with the CEO, who is Krista Driver, and she was telling us about how although many of their clients are low income, some of them are high income clients as well, and many of them want to come back and donate. So she told us about how she did in the past. Mariposa has worked with clients from the Angels or different places like that, and once they get the services that they receive from Mariposa, they want to come back and donate or support the counseling center in whichever way they can, because they're a nonprofit. And with that being said, that's why we wanted to target Mariposa clients as well as people around that area for Mariposa. So one of our primaries was the Mariposa clients, and what we did with that was use like the Facebook page that Mariposa already had to use to target some of those clients. Our second primary public was Orange County millennials. The reason why we chose to focus on Orange County millennials as well is once we did our research and we actually got to visit the location where Mariposa was located, we saw it was really close. Well, not really close, but not too far from Santa Ana Main Place Mall, and Mariposa is located in Orange. And so there was a lot of other areas where millennials tend to go, and because Mariposa is known for being a woman and family center, and because they now work with male and females, they have a large age range that they tend to work with. But because a lot of families and lower income people we tend to realize are a little bit younger, we wanted to do that as well with targeting the millennials. And because we wanted to improve their social media presence, that's something else we talked to the CEO about. We chose millennials since they are like the highest users of social media right now. For our secondary publics, it was traditional media and social media, just because both of our targets are affected by that, because a lot of Mariposa's clients were already on the Mariposa Facebook page, and with Orange County millennials tend to use Facebook, but as well as the Twitter that Mariposa had as well.
So our key messages, these are the things that we really wanted people to know about Mariposa, the kind of fun fact we were trying to get out there. And so Mariposa Counseling Center offers individual, couples, family, group, and substitute treatment in a care and safe environment. This is basically informing people that it's not just a substance abuse program anymore. A lot of people come there thinking that it's strictly for substance abuse, not other mental health issues, when in reality they offer anxiety groups, they offer grief counseling, they have a huge array of groups, whether that be domestic violence and things like that. So we really want people to know it's not strictly for just substance abuse anymore. And second, Mariposa Counseling Center is the only substance abuse program in Orange County that offers services to both males and females. So when it comes to the substance abuse, whether it be inpatient or outpatient programs that are for people coming with addiction problems, a lot of them, well, all of them in Orange County are either for women only or for men only, and Mariposa offers groups for men and women. So this is good for families because a lot of people who are struggling with this, usually it's a husband and a wife, and it's hard for them to go to one place and then the husband has to go to another. A lot of people only have like one car or one way of transportation. So this is a place that both of them can go and both of them can get it done together. And that's really what we were trying to get our public to understand about Mariposa.
Alright, so for, excuse me, for our goals and objectives, our primary goal was to raise money because that was one of the things they told us in our original meeting with them. Our secondary goal was for our campaign to increase their activity on Facebook. She did say that they didn't have a lot of time to maintain it and that it would be really helpful if we could help with that. So for our first objective, Titan Fusion PR aims to raise a minimum of $200 for our event. We did decide that we wanted to do a fundraiser. We wanted to do an opportunity drawing, online donations that would be held in the month of November. Secondly, Titan Fusion PR wanted to increase Mariposa's social media activity on their Facebook account, and we chose to do that by posting their ratios 50% compared to the previous month of October.
So the tools and tactics that we utilized for our event, our primary tool was definitely our press release that we sent out. We also did in-person pitches. We went to the Daily Titan, we went upstairs to see if they would cover our event. Social media was also our number one because that was really the primary way that we could reach a lot of clients just due to like the HIPAA thing. We couldn't just like go and like ask clients for their information. Media alerts, tactics that we used, we had an opportunity drawing at our fundraiser. We had a photo booth, we did flyers. A lot of us were in our classrooms and we passed out flyers and kind of gave like a brief spiel about like, hey, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to talk about more in detail in a second. Word of mouth, a lot of our friends ended up coming, so a millennial generation. Facebook, Snapchat. Alyssa, our intern at the Orange Coast Magazine, was able to get a publication for our event prior to the event happening.
Alright, so here we have our anticipated timeline. We did want to reach out to our venue by the second or first week of October. We'd hoped we'd be able to start sooner and we'd be able to get our fundraising forms and everything completed. We wanted to get our press kit into the publics or the contacts we wanted to do by the second week of October as well. Our social media promotion, we wanted to start in mid-October and run it through the end of our event and past November. And as well, we wanted to do our event evaluation and everything like that at the time that we did. However, if we go to the next slide, you can see that our actual timeline was pushed back quite a few weeks. It was like a couple weeks. And this was due to our delay in our venue booking. We originally wanted to book with a park, or we were even thinking about doing it at Mariposa Counseling Center. However, after we spoke to Professor Hagihara, he gave us some advice, and so we ended up going with California Pizza Kitchen as our fundraiser. So because of that, it pushed everything back 2 weeks. We started on October week 3. This is when we contacted the venue, we applied for the venue, we did all the fundraising packets. We ended up going to Main Place Mall for all of our opportunity drawing prizes. We had to develop the press kit, but we actually didn't get it out until like the end of October. And our social media promotion was delayed quite a bit too because, as they'll explain later, we had trouble getting access to the Facebook accounts.
So for our fundraiser, like Liz just said, it was at California Pizza Kitchen. We touted pizza with a purpose, try getting people in. It was at Santa Ana Main Place Small on November 16, 2017, and it actually ran throughout the whole day. So from opening to closing, so 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. One of the main reasons why we chose California Pizza Kitchen was because of the fact that, unlike any of the other places that we were thinking of, this place gave us 20% of the proceeds, and not only from food, like most places do, but also let us participate in any takeout orders that were mentioned, bar orders, and also gift cards, which a lot of eatery places usually don't allow. And then some of the things that we had there, like we mentioned, were the opportunity drawing, which were all donated by either outside sources or stores at the mall. So right there on the bottom of the list, you can see a few of them, such as Ogden Coffee Bar, Titan Shops, and also the Orange Coast Magazine. We also had a photo booth so that we could go ahead and show everyone our Snapchat geo filter, which ended up being a problem later, but we'll explain that towards the end. And finally, our information stand about Mariposa. We had someone on it the whole time so that anyone who was walking in or out could be informed about it. And then if you see on the next slide, it was actually a pretty good place that we got. We got the patio right in front of CPK, so anyone that was coming in or out of CPK would have to see the information stand. If you look on your left or your right, and then it's going to go ahead and be right in front of the entrance and exit so that anyone who was leaving would be able to see it. So we were trying to draw attention that way. And then along with that, if anyone was walking past the place as well, they would be able to see our opportunity drawing that we put right there. So hopefully it gathered some people trying to get their attention with the raffle. And finally, the photo booth was perfectly placed. We didn't have to buy a backdrop, which is what we were planning on doing because of the fact that I already had like a nice wooden backdrop that we could use for it.
And so the next slide is just some pictures from the event. So what Jeff was saying earlier, if you look at this top right corner for you all, we actually purchased like some photo booth supplies from Etsy, and so we just had to cut them out and put them on sticks, and we made them props. And so people were able to use little props when they were using our photo booth. And if you see to the left, there's a beautiful young girl in the corner. And she was actually using one of the props with our Snapchat filter as well. So on our filter, it said pizza with a purpose, and it was like all little different things. It was a pre-made filter by Snapchat. And so if they took a picture with the props and they used our filter, they got an extra ticket into our opportunity drawing. And so that worked out really great because it got people to come over and like, you know, use everything we set up. And then they wanted to get in opportunity drawing. If they got a free ticket, they were like, well, I might as well buy some more. So that worked out great. The picture where you see the large poster where it says Mariposa, that's a side angle of the patio that they gave us. So they gave us our own private patio in front of CPK at Main Place Mall. So it's kind of like right after you walk up from the parking garage, the patio was kind of right there. So you're able to spot it. And we were there all day, so I just saw people walking by, and some people even just stopped me because they saw me to ask more about our nonprofit because they saw we were out there and they saw a lot of things going on. If you look in the right corner where you see all of us and this man who you're probably wondering who this is, that's actually the senator of Orange County. His name is Josh Newman. His wife actually sits on the board for Mariposa, and he's currently working with Cal State Fullerton on a few things that he's trying to do as senator. So he actually came out to our event, stopped by, like talked to all of us. He even, you know, pulled our professor to the side to talk to him a little bit, and he was really nice. He donated a lot to our opportunity drawing, and him and his wife and his little cute daughter, they ate at CPK as well. And then in the middle, you just see a picture, and that's all of our opportunity drawing prizes, as well as a fun little GIF of Alyssa with the raffle prizes. And so now we'll move into our budget. So this is a budget just for our event. So in the beginning, when we were looking into a venue, somewhat kind of what Alyssa was saying, we were looking into doing our event at a park. So our budget looked strategically different when it was at a park than when it was already at like a restaurant. So when we first looked at the budget and before we sent it to Mariposa, there were a few things that were on there, so we thought it was going to be $100 due to the application fee and other supplies just needed for the event. And then when we went back later and did our actual calculation, so after they saw that $100, they were kind of like, okay, well, let's see where we can help. We were able to get the application fee waived by Rebecca talking to our contact at California Pizza Kitchen. So she waived that whole fee for us, and then other things Mariposa was able to supply us resources with. So some things we were just able to cut that out of our budget. So our budget that they gave us was $57, and we ended up spending $53.29. So we were still under budget. So I think we did pretty good. We got a lot of donated items as well for our opportunity drawing. As well as these t-shirts that we have on, they were donated to us as well. So because they're a nonprofit and they didn't have that much money, it was great that we only spent $53.
So the way we measured all of our statistics, we used Facebook Insight to measure our activity on Facebook, which you can see here. It spiked significantly in November compared to October when they only posted like once. We anonymously pulled out our opportunity tickets for our drawing and called the winners at the end of the night. We utilized Snapchat geofilter metrics to make sure we understood how many people actually use the Snapchat filter and if it was worth the $20 that we spent on the night for it. And the results of the proceeds were given to us by CPK the next day. The criteria that we used, we wanted to post to Facebook during the month of November at least 10 times, which significantly boosted the amount of posts for Mariposa. We wanted to sell at least $100 in opportunity drawing tickets. We also wanted to raise at least $100 in proceeds through CPK and promote our geofilter efforts, the voter.
So for the problems and challenges we reached, it would be social media. For Facebook, our client was not able to supply us with the Facebook passwords, so that it kind of postponed our posting on their social media sites. So it kind of ruined the plans for the dates that we wanted to have set. Along with that, it would be Snapchat and their geofilter being not present in our location that we had booked it for. So essentially we had paid for the 11 to 9 booking, but we only got around 4 to 5 hours of it, and we couldn't really fix that, or even no matter how much we talked to Snapchat, all they could do was just fix the problem at the moment. And then along with that, it would be CPK itself. One of the big things was the size of the restaurant is smaller compared to most CPKs, but along with that, the CPK that we went to was very understaffed for our event. They actually told us that they had not ever had an event with this many people in it, so they had no idea what to do. So for the lunchtime, a lot of people who were going in there, probably instead of a 30-minute to an hour wait, it was close to like 2 hours. Luckily, because of that, they were able to call in extra servers for the nighttime rush, so that was a little more better. And then for the location on the map services, whenever you looked up CPK on the maps, it would actually bring you to Main Place Mall, but it would bring you to like the under area, so that would confuse a lot of guests that were never there before. And then finally, competing restaurants that were around the area that we had to draw attention away from.
So finally, our results, how well we did. So our social media was very successful. Like they talked about, in October, Mariposa only posted, I think it was 2 times in the whole month of October, and we posted 10. So we successfully posted 50% more than they did. And so a little calculation on all the money we made. From CPK, we made $317.54. So that's from the 20% proceeds. And then by donations in person and online that we had at the booth, we raised $551.51. And then through the opportunity drawing, we raised $216. So our overall profit was $1,085.05. Subtract the budget of $53. Our return on investment was $1,031. So this exceeded our expectations greatly. We only thought we were going to raise $200, because when we met with Mariposa the first time, they were telling us how, we've done kind of events at restaurants and they've never really been successful. We're not sure how well this is going to go over. And then once they saw that we got the donations for free from the raffle prizes and everything, they were really impressed with how much we were able to bring in and give back to Mariposa.
That's just a fun little gif of me.
Celebrating our reward.
After I had a strawberry lemonade with too much sugar in it. Just a little bit. I'm too hyper. And that's the end of our presentation.
Does anyone have questions?